Deep in the ancient book of Daniel, there's this really specific, kind of strange story that has puzzled and fascinated scholars for, well, centuries. It's this brief, almost offhand account of a cosmic battle, a message that got delayed, and it gives us this rare peek into a hidden spiritual world. So today we're going to unpack this absolutely compelling event. Okay, so the story kicks off with what sounds like a simple enough mission. A divine messenger, an angel, is sent straight from heaven. He's got an urgent message for the prophet Daniel. But right out of the gate, something goes completely wrong. The angel is late. And we're not talking about a small delay here, like a few hours or even a couple of days. No, the angel was held up for 3 full weeks, 21 days. Can you just imagine waiting for a critical, life-altering message, knowing it was sent, but having absolutely no idea what could possibly be stopping it from getting to you? The suspense would have been just unreal. And that really brings us to the core mystery of this whole thing. I mean, think about it. We are talking about a powerful spiritual being sent directly from the presence of God. So, what in the world could stand in its way for 3 weeks straight? This was obviously not your average traffic jam. So when the angel finally manages to break through, he gives Daniel the shocking reason for the holdup. He says he was directly opposed by a being he calls the Prince of Persia.
Now, this is the crucial part we have to get straight. This is not a human prince, not a guy in a palace. The text makes it incredibly clear that we're dealing with something else entirely. This is a powerful, dark, non-human entity that has spiritual authority over the physical, geographical territory of the Persian Empire. It's a wild concept, right? A spiritual being tied directly to a geopolitical region?
And this table really just lays out the difference perfectly. On one side, you've got your human kings, your rulers of Persia. They're dealing with armies, taxes, earthly politics, running an empire. But on the other side, operating in this unseen realm, you have this spiritual prince. And his main job seems to be running interference, blocking divine messengers and heavenly plans. It's like 2 parallel worlds, each with its own kind of power. So, if this Prince of Persia was powerful enough to hold a divine messenger in a stalemate for 21 days, how did the angel ever get through? Well, the answer reveals a whole other layer to this unseen world. Reinforcements showed up. I mean, just picture this. For 3 solid weeks, it's a cosmic deadlock, a one-on-one struggle. The messenger angel versus the Prince of Persia. And neither one can get the upper hand. The stalemate was only broken when a much more powerful being decided to step into the fight. And here it is, straight from the source. The angel tells Daniel that Michael, who he identifies as one of the chief princes, came to help him. Talk about a dramatic entrance. The arrival of Michael, who we know from other texts as an archangel, is the absolute turning point in this entire conflict. The language here is so interesting and really important. That term, chief prince, it suggests a hierarchy, right? A command structure. It literally took a higher-ranking spiritual being, an archangel, to come in and overpower the territorial spirit that was blocking the way. This gives us a huge clue that there's a clear pecking order in these spiritual realms. So this one story, it does a lot more than just describe a single battle. It basically provides us with a blueprint, a kind of map, of how this whole spiritual dimension might actually be structured. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, if this is how things operate over ancient Persia, what does that imply about everywhere else? This whole account is like someone pulled back the curtain for just a split second, revealing this complex reality that's going on just beyond what we can see. This table really just lays it all out. Based on this one short passage, you can see at least 3 different tiers of power. Way up at the top, you've got a chief prince, like Michael, the heavy hitter. Then in the middle, you have this powerful territorial being, the Prince of Persia. And then you have the messenger angel, still incredibly powerful, of course, but clearly outranked by the other 2 in this specific conflict. So just from this one crazy incident, we can kind of figure out some of the rules of engagement for this unseen realm. First, there's this idea of spiritual beings having authority over actual territories. Second, there's a definite hierarchy of power. Third, these conflicts in the heavens can have a real, direct impact on us down here on Earth, like delaying a crucial message. And finally, it's pretty clear there are 2 sides here, locked in opposition. When you step back and look at it, what the book of Daniel is really giving us isn't just a story. It's a rare and ancient cosmic map, sketching out the unseen forces that the writers believed were actively shaping the entire course of human history. And that's why this little story has captured people's imaginations for so long. It suggests that behind the rise and fall of empires, behind all the political drama you read about in history books, there's this whole other layer of conflict going on, a spiritual war being fought for influence over the nations.
And then the angel's parting words are, honestly, a little chilling. He says he has to go back to the fight with the Prince of Persia, and then he adds that after he's gone, the Prince of Greece is coming next. This implies a whole succession of these spiritual entities, perfectly mirroring the succession of earthly empires from Persia to Greece.
And that just leaves us with this final, massive question, doesn't it? This cosmic map wasn't just for the ancient world. If this structure is real, if there are powerful spiritual entities assigned to different territories, what does that imply about the nations and the powers of our world right now? It's a pretty mind-bending question to chew on, all from this one ancient 21-day battle.